Hello Williams class, for your computing lesson today, the learning objective is, can I understand how to be safe online? E-safety. This is a term used to describe how we raise awareness of how to stay safe online. Have a little think to yourself, what are the dangers or risks when you are online? So I have for you four potential risks, four risks that you can have when you are online. There is the danger of having your personal information online. So anyone having access to it, people that you don't necessarily know or people that you don't want knowing about your personal information. Social media is so popular today, but there's so much risk associated with it because it's so much easier now to come into contact with strangers and for strangers to come into contact with you. So it's very important that you are super, super careful when you are using social media and making sure that you are of the right age before you start using any sort of app or social platform. Now, online gaming, it is no secret that online gaming is also becoming more and more popular as the days go on. We have chat rooms now, forums, we have YouTubers making videos about all sorts of different games as well. But it is very important to remember that most of the gamers online are of age to be able to do what they're doing. And you don't want to put yourself at risk by again, sharing information that's very, very personal, should be private between you and your family. You don't want to be sharing that with anyone online because you don't know them. Even if they're a friend, you never know who's listening. So it is very important to be very, very careful. Now, lastly, pop-ups. So these are any windows, any sort of websites that might come up, ones that you haven't searched for, ones that you sometimes don't even realize that they're there. So you have to be very aware. Make sure that when you are clicking on any sorts of links or when you're visiting any websites, make sure that there are no pop-ups coming up. And if there are, then never ever click on them. Just really quickly press the X button and get rid of those pop-ups. Now, how can we limit the risks? How can we make sure that we have as few risks as possible? Have a little think to yourself. So one way in which we can limit the risks, we can make them smaller and we can make them fewer as well. Something major that you could do there is to tell someone about it. When using a name for gaming, be very, very creative. Do not use your own name because a lot of information can be gotten from somebody's name by a stranger who knows exactly how to use that name. So be aware. Do not use your own name. Try not to use any sort of personal information as your name. Try and be creative and come up with a name that, when someone hears about it, they don't know that it's you. Another key way of limiting our risks is by not clicking on pop-ups. So I did mention this earlier. Make sure that if a pop-up does come up, so remember, that's a website or a link or anything that has come up on your screen and you've not searched for it, make sure that you don't interact with it. Don't click on it, just press the X button and move on to the website that you wanted to go on from the start. When you are gaming online, make sure that you play with people you know. Too many times we find that people are playing with strangers and there are some games online for which you do have to play with other people, but you have to play with people that you know, because if you are playing with someone you do not know, that's you playing with a stranger, and it's something that we wouldn't do in real life. You wouldn't go to the park and then just suddenly play with a stranger. You would want to know the person that you're playing with when you're seeing them in person. So treat it exactly the same when you are online and you're gaming. Now, what advice would you give to these children here? There are 3 children, child A, B, and C, and each of them has a problem or an issue. Let's see what advice we would give to them. So child A, I was playing a game online with my friends when all of a sudden a screen popped up saying, click here to win an iPad. So if I was this person's agony aunt, that means if I was able to give this person any advice, I would say that what they should do is close that link down. Now, the people who make pop-ups, let me let you in on something here. People who make these pop-ups know exactly what to say to make somebody want to click on it because they want people to visit the sites. They want people to say, oh, I really want an iPad, click. That's exactly what they want to do. They want your information. So one Key thing to remember here is never, ever, ever click on a pop-up. It could say the most exciting thing in the world, win this, get this, but that's exactly why they have these pop-ups, is because they know that if they have something exciting up on the screen, a child would click on it, and we need to make sure that we are not doing that as much as we can. Child B. I was looking for some pictures on the Romans for a school project when I saw something that made me feel uncomfortable. So here is someone who is trying to do some research for school, which is perfectly normal and really, really nice to do. However, this person has now seen something that they didn't want to see because it made them feel a little bit uneasy. So the advice that I would give this child is to tell someone about it. So make that adult aware that these pictures are available on the internet, and it could be so easy for someone to gain access to it just like their child has done. So I would say tell a trusted adult about it, and then leave it to them to sort of get rid of the pictures, or you can have sort of a chat with them about why it makes you uncomfortable. But never ever leave it just like that. Always tell somebody. It's very important for an adult that you trust to be aware of it, to know that something has made you uncomfortable. Lastly, child C. All my friends have signed on to a music social media group. I know I am underage, but they are all on it. When I registered, it asked for lots of personal information. Right, so this child says that their friends have signed on to a music social media group, okay? The person knows that they are underage, but the person says that their friends are on it. I would say that if you know that you're underage, you should not be using that app at all, or you should not be part of that group at all. Even if your closest friends are on it, they should also know, if they are your age, they should be aware that they are not allowed to use it if they are underage. It's just, there's a reason that there are age restrictions on certain apps and on certain games. It's because the people who make them know exactly who that would be good for. They know that, you know, children can't play certain games, that children can't visit certain sites, and that's exactly why they put the age restrictions. It's not to be boring, it's not to be mean or to be harsh, but it is for the betterment of children. It is for the good of you, rather than to make you feel bored or to make you feel left out. And the child also mentioned, child C, that when they registered, it asked for lots of personal information. So the number one warning there is the fact that they're underage. The second warning there is that it asks for lots of personal information that really should not be shared online. So for those two reasons, I would say that this person should stay away from that social media group. Don't join it. And also the fact that it asks for lots of personal information, that does, you know, reveal to me, and it should reveal to child C as well, that this is maybe not something that they want to interact with. And if so, it'd be really, really nice for them to raise awareness amongst their friends as well. Let them know, you know, we're all underage here. We should not be on this music social media group. We need to get off it immediately. Now, your 3 tasks for today. Number 1, you're going to make an internet safety poster with rules to help stay safe online. So be as creative as you want to be. Use color, use pictures, use instructions if you want to brush up on your instruction writing like you have been practicing in English. Really take control of how you make this poster. Make sure that you include the rules. Make sure that it really tells the person who's about to look at the poster how to stay safe when they are using the internet. Task number 2, you're going to pick 2 scenarios and give advice on how to deal with them. So the 2 scenarios then can be picked from this slide here. So you can, when you're doing task 2, pause the video and have a look at these 3 scenarios. Give advice to 2 children from the 3 there. Task number 3, you're going to write a set of instructions to stay safe online when playing a video game. So you could be specific when you could list, you could mention the name of the video game, and we have been writing instructions in English as well. So this is good practice for your English lessons too. Remember to be as specific as possible, as detailed as possible. Remember your imperative verbs, remember your fronted adverbials, maybe even some time connectives. Really be as specific as possible. Remember the features that you wrote in your English toolkit and try and include as many of them in your instruction writing for task 3. Now make sure that all of the work you do is posted onto Tapestry for me to see. That's it from me for now, Williams class. Take care, and I will see you very, very soon.